Are you waking up every Monday morning feeling like your soul is stuck in a waiting room for a life that hasn't started yet? You might have the job, the paycheck, and the routine, but there is a nagging feeling that you were meant for something much bigger. Most people spend 40 years building someone else's dream while their own dies in the basement of their mind. Today, we are going to change that by looking at the exact steps to find your life purpose and turn it into your reality. I am going to show you how to identify your true path and why your past struggles are actually your greatest assets. By the end of this video, you will have a clear roadmap to move from just surviving to finally feeling alive. We need to start by understanding that a dream is not just a career, it is actually your why. Think about a doctor who loves their work not because of the surgery, but because their dream is the act of healing people. If that doctor lost their hands, they could still fulfill their dream by teaching others how to heal. A career is just the tool you use, but your purpose is the energy that drives the tool. Many of us live with a quiet discontent, which is that weird void you feel even when things look good on paper. Imagine a corporate executive making six figures who feels empty because their soul is craving creative expression. That void is not a sign of failure, but a signal from your heart that there is a gap between your current life and your potential. You might think you have to find one single passion, but that is actually a myth that holds people back. Leonardo da Vinci did not just pick one thing. He was an artist, scientist, and an engineer all at the same time. Your dream can evolve and change as you grow, and you are allowed to have multiple interests throughout your life. We also have to look at how much of your current path was actually chosen by your parents or by society. Think about the student who studies law only because their family expects it, even though they secretly love interior design. If you are living someone else's dream, you will never feel successful, no matter how much money you make. To find your real dream, you need to go back and do a childhood curiosity audit of your younger self. Think back to what you loved doing before the world told you what you were supposed to be. Maybe you were a software engineer who realized you always loved building complex Lego sets as a kid. That love for building things was the original spark that led you to the world of structural creation. You should also look for moments where you enter a flow state and completely lose track of time. Think about a writer who forgets to eat or sleep because they are so immersed in the story they are telling. Those moments are clues that you have found an activity that perfectly matches your natural talents. Here is a weird trick: use your envy to map out what you actually want in life. If you feel jealous when you see a friend's travel blog, it usually means your dream involves freedom and exploration. Envy is just a compass pointing toward the things your heart is currently missing. You also need to align your life with your core values, which are your non-negotiable rules for happiness. If your core value is nature, you will never be truly happy working in a tiny cubicle in a gray city. Identifying these values helps you stop chasing goals that will only make you miserable in the long run. A great way to find your path is using the Ikigai framework to see where your interests overlap. This is the sweet spot where what you love meets what you are good at and what the world needs. Think about a hobbyist photographer who realizes they can help small businesses grow by becoming a brand strategist. They are using their talent to solve a problem, and that is where the magic of fulfillment really happens. Sometimes your biggest pain points from the past can actually define your future mission in life. Consider a person who overcame a massive health crisis and then decided to become a holistic nutritionist. Their struggle gave them the empathy and the knowledge to help others who are going through the same thing. You also have to pass the vulnerability test by figuring out what you are willing to look stupid for. Imagine a middle-aged man who starts a beginner's dance class because he has always wanted to move his body. If you are too afraid to be a beginner, you will never grow into the expert you were meant to be. Use the 80-20th rule of joy to look at your current daily tasks and see what brings you life. A teacher might realize they love the one-on-one mentoring way more than they like lecturing to a full room. Once you know that, you can start shifting your life to do more of that 20% every single day. One of the biggest hurdles you will face is the imposter syndrome that makes you feel like a total fraud. Even the famous writer Maya Angelou felt like a fraud after she had already written several world-famous books. Feeling like you aren't qualified is actually a sign that you are pushing yourself into new and important territory. To beat the fear of starting, try an exercise called fear setting where you map out the worst-case scenario. If you quit your job to start a business and it fails, you might just have to get another job. Realizing that failure isn't fatal makes it much easier to take that first scary step toward your goal. Many people use perfectionism as a form of procrastination because they are afraid to be imperfect. A new YouTuber should film their first 10 videos on a smartphone instead of waiting until they can afford a cinema camera. Done is always better than perfect because you can't improve something that doesn't exist yet. You have to start viewing failure as data rather than a reflection of your worth as a human. Thomas Edison made 1,000 unsuccessful attempts at the light bulb before he finally got it to work. He didn't fail 1,000 times, he just found 1,000 ways that didn't work and learned from them. Instead of jumping off a cliff, try micro-testing your dream to see if it actually fits your lifestyle. You could try freelancing as a graphic designer on the weekends before you decide to open your own studio. This allows you to build confidence and proof of concept without risking your entire financial stability. It is also vital to have a financial runway plan so you don't feel desperate while you pivot. Try saving at least 6 months of living expenses before you transition into full-time creative or freelance work. Having the cash in the bank gives you the mental space to be creative instead of just being stressed. You should also build what I call a cabinet of advisors, which is a group of mentors who have done it. Joining a local meetup for entrepreneurs can help you learn from people who have already walked the path. You don't have to reinvent the wheel when there are people willing to show you how they built theirs. Learning the power of saying no is one of the hardest but most important parts of this journey. You might have to say no to a high-paying promotion if it requires travel that takes you away from your family. Cutting out good opportunities is often the only way to make room for the great ones that align with your dream. As you start to change, you will likely have to deal with naysayers and people who try to pull you back. Sometimes your own family will tell you that your new career path is unrealistic or too risky for you. You have to stay firm in your vision because their fear is about them, not about your actual potential. Make sure you are celebrating your small wins to keep your momentum going over the long haul. Celebrate your first 100 subscribers or the very first time a client pays you for your expert work. These small milestones are the fuel that keeps you moving when the journey gets difficult or lonely. You also need to know the difference between a pivot and a total quit when things get tough. A restaurant owner might switch to a food truck model during a recession instead of closing down forever. Changing your method is fine as long as you are still moving toward your ultimate goal of feeding people. To avoid burning out, you must practice sustainable hustle by integrating rest into your daily schedule. Schedule digital detox days where you turn off your phone to maintain your creative clarity and mental health. Your dream is a marathon, not a sprint, and you won't reach the finish line if you collapse halfway there. When you finally start living your purpose, try to shift your focus toward a service mindset. A successful artist might start a scholarship for kids who can't afford art supplies in their own neighborhood. Helping others is the fastest way to solidify your own sense of fulfillment and happiness in life. Start thinking about your legacy and asking yourself what people will say about you in 50 years. Choosing a path that prioritizes the impact you leave behind is much better than just accumulating wealth. Your dream will also continue to evolve, so don't be surprised when new goals start to emerge. An athlete might find a new dream by transitioning into becoming a successful coach or a sports broadcaster. Remaining flexible allows you to stay excited about your life as you enter different seasons of age. Keeping a daily gratitude practice helps you stay grounded and aware of how far you have come. Journaling about the progress you made today keeps you focused on the positive instead of the problems. It is a powerful feeling to realize you are now living the life you once prayed for years ago. Once you have found your path, make sure you share the roadmap by mentoring others who are lost. A successful author can teach writing workshops to help beginners find their own voice and tell their stories. Giving back completes the circle of success and makes your own achievements feel much more meaningful. Finally, you must accept radical responsibility for your own life and your own future happiness. Stop playing the blame game and realize that you are the only one who can claim your dream. No one is coming to save you or hand you your purpose on a silver platter. You have to go get it. Finding your dream isn't a destination, it's a way of traveling. If this guide helped you gain even an ounce of clarity today, please subscribe and hit the bell icon to join our community of purpose seekers.